Tennessee Titans fans, I'm here today to give you an example of the type of people that you're arguing with when you argue about Cam Ward's play so far this season. This is the type of stuff I'm talking about right here. Look at this series of tweets. Scott Connor, I don't even have a clue who he is. God bless him. He said, people criticize Shedeur Sanders after one quarter, yet J.J. McCarthy and Cam Ward continually suck every single week. Somebody replied, someone isn't watching the Titans today, LOL, to which Scott replied, why would I? I'll check the passing/drop back efficiency data after the game. So that's what we're dealing with. Why would I actually watch the games? I'm telling you, obviously I love social media and I love all of the different charts and data that we have access to and things like that. And I appreciate all of those things, but this is the downside. We think we know more than we do. We think that we can substitute watching for our charts and our data and our efficiency stats. And that'll tell us everything we need to know. First of all, this user says, well, J.J. McCarthy and Cam Ward been bad all year. Nobody said a word. Yes, they have. Yes, they have. People have been dogging J.J. McCarthy all year. People have been dogging Cam Ward all year. I've had to fight Titans fans in my comment section who have been trashing Cam Ward all year. Every time he makes any mistake, he can throw 10 good passes, but the moment he throws one bad one, we had to go back to Will Levis, what we need to do. Like, I do this every week. So people have been criticizing J.J. McCarthy, Cam Ward. Jalen Hurts won a Super Bowl last year, and they're criticizing him because his efficiency data and his drop back stats are not as good as some of these other guys, and that's what I'll go by. Maybe I'm just old school. Watch the game, man. Watch the games. If at the very least, if you're going to talk to me about who's good and who's not, you can at least take the time to watch the game and watch the film. And at the very least, don't act like it's unreasonable for people to troll you because you don't watch the games and you don't watch the players. But this is what we're dealing with. Look at what he said. The user said someone isn't watching the Titans today, to which he said, why would I? And I don't want to trash on this guy. I'm sure he's a good guy, but when your comeback is, why would I watch the games? Yeah, I guess in 2025, that's where we're at. Why would I watch the games? Why would I bother watching these players when I can just come on social media and with authority declare whether they're good or whether they're not based on my efficiency and dropback data? Dude, can I just tell you this right now? I'm sick of your charts. I'm sick of your data. I'm sick of you thinking you know something because you play fantasy football. I am sick of it, dude. I'm sick of it. And it's not anything against Shedeur. I agree with his original statement, which was people criticize Shedeur Sanders after one quarter. Yes, it is ridiculous for people to declare Shedeur Sanders as one thing or another based on one quarter, one game, one season. All of these rookies, I talked about it on the podcast yesterday, Cam Ward, Jackson Dart, Shedeur Sanders, Tyler Shuck, all of them are on bad teams, bro. They're all on bad teams with not a lot of talent. The Titans and Giants have already fired their coaches with Jackson Dart and Cam Ward there. The Browns very well may fire theirs. The Saints won't because they just hired theirs, but there's not a lot of talent. They were all at the top 10 of the draft last year because they were bad last year. And then we sit here with our efficiency data and we say, well, let me tell you who's good and who's not. It's like, okay, this is why we get into these discussions every day with Titans fans, with non-Titans fans about like whether a guy's a bust or whether a guy was a bad pick or whatever. That's why, and we have some of them within our own media sphere in Titans world that just like don't want nuance at all. They don't want any. They just want good or bad. This guy's good or he's bad. He's a bust or he's not. And they want to declare it after 10, 11, or in Shadour's case, 1 game. This is the stuff I'm talking about. It's stuff like this that empowers people to get in my comments every day and pretend because they've read their data. They've got their little charts. Well, according to this chart, he's comparable to this player from this past season. I don't care. Like, dude, what are we even doing? What happened to the game that I love? What happened to the game I love? What happened to these? What happened to your eyes? What happened to using your eyes? What happened to watching the games instead of just reading your data? God, what are we doing, man? What has happened to the NFL? What has happened to NFL fans? What has happened to this game I love? You don't even want to watch the games. You just want to read your data. I got my data. I got my numbers I've crunched here. I mean, listen, I don't want to make fun of nobody, but it's just like, this is how we're watch the games. If you're going to comment, watch the games. And don't take pride in the fact that you don't. Tighten up.